Hey y'all, it's Maddie from the Itty Bitty Homestead Committee, and today on Breed It Better, I am going to introduce you to our does and their babies. I didn't tell you when it happened, but we did breed our does to our bucks. I'm going to go over who we bred each other to and why. And the reason why I didn't necessarily show the process is these are all brand new does to us, so we didn't know who was going to catch and who wasn't going to catch, and if there were going to be any problems. So I just kind of wanted to test them out first to see what they can do and what they do produce before we introduce them to y'all. So let's hop into it and I can show you what we did.
So first off, we have Kesha. She has a poorer set of ear markings, and she doesn't have the worst type that we have in the barn, but her type is meh. She doesn't have a great high point, and she's kind of lacking in depth, but she has a decent shoulder. And she had 9 babies, and she's actually been a really good mom. We did lose a runt early on, but other than that, her babies are full, happy, and healthy, and we bred her to Freak. And the reason we bred her to Freak was I would have preferred to breed her to George, but George did not have the stamina that Freak did, so we threw her in with Freak for now just to ensure that she did produce, and as you can see, she definitely did and had some beautiful, beautiful babies. But in the future, I would have preferred her pairing be with George because that would have fixed her ear markings, and it would have fixed some of the problems we're seeing in her height on her high point. But look at these wiggly little beans. They all have full bellies, and these guys' markings aren't coming in as strong as the litter I'm going to show you later, so I'm kind of iffy if they're going to have Freak's markings. Next, we have Hawk, and Hawk probably has the best body type out of all of our does. She has an amazing high point, a great shoulder, and great depth. And also, she gave us 6 little babies. Well, technically she gave us 7, but the one baby was stillborn. So we have 6 babies in her litter. We bred her to Freak, and I actually wanted to breed her to Freak because she has amazing ear and feet markings, so I'm hoping that'll counter Freak's issues. But she also has really great type along with Freak, so pairing them together should give us the correct kind of type. And I'm going to show you some of these babies here because they actually do have the smallest amount of shadowing in where their markings are going to come in on their ears and face, which is super exciting because they're more likely to look like Hawk's markings than they do Freak, who doesn't have the best of markings. So if you can see kind of dark shadows on this one's ears and towards its nose, which is what I'm definitely looking for, but as they get older and we evaluate them, we will definitely see. And of course, here's Lucky. He is in with Hawk because Kesha's litter was just too big, and Hawk is a mother. We do know that. She has had babies before, so we threw him in with this litter, and other than him being the only dark kit, he is thriving. Next, we have Tati. And Tati probably has the worst shoulder I've seen. It's way too long, even for a commercial type. And y'all, Tati did not catch. We bred her to George, and it might just be that George was too young at the time, so we did what any breeder does. We threw her back in. I've talked about stand breeding before. This isn't necessarily a stand breeding, but I did scruff Tati because she was getting a little too excited for George and was breeding his head. But as you can see, she lifts up for him, and so she does want to breathe. The problem was she was a little too eager to do it and was not necessarily attacking George, just running him in circles and really, really trying to get him to do that to her. It's just she was being a little aggressive. So we are rebreeding her.
So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. We have 2 litters and 1 non-litter. So we had a success rate of 66% here in the barn, which is super exciting. With that being said, out of the 2 litters, I am most excited for Hawk's litter, just because she has the best type out of everyone, and her babies are getting that shadowing in on their ears and face this early, which is more likely for them to be a dark black color compared to Freak's blue color. So very excited to see how these kits do. With that being said, Hawk is the eldest Californian we have in the barn. So I am looking at keeping 2 of her best does out of this litter if it is possible, because I do need a replacement for her, and if I can keep that type in the barn through her daughters, I definitely will. We did rebreed Tati to George in hopes that George will give us kits, because unfortunately, I won't be having George and the Kesha in the barn for much longer. They're going to be going with Freedom Quail on her next adventure. She got a job offer here in another state, and although I'm super excited for her, I am going to miss her, like, a lot. And she is going to continue on this challenge with Kesha, her litter, and George on her end, and we will be switching animals every once in a while to refresh our bloodlines and ensure that we are having the proper ratios of new animals in our lines. So they'll still be in our program, just not as prominent.
Anna's just vibing.
That toy is so loud. But anyway, that's all I got for you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.